Stop spending on rat poison. The 7 plants already in your kitchen can handle the job and target a rat's nose more effectively than any pellet available. An experienced gardener nearby has used this exact setup for 40 years without ever purchasing a snap trap. In the next section, I will reveal the same layout that replaces a $100 exterminator visit with roughly $15 in starter plants. A rat has 1,200 types of scent receptors, while humans have 400. That nose is its weapon, and these 7 plants serve as the ammunition. Most people who plant them still face rat problems. A university study on rodent behavior explains why, and the solution hinges on plant number 3, which will be covered later. 3 things are essential: each plant with its active compound and the specific receptor it targets in a rat's nose, the exact placement and spacing per linear foot along with USDA zone, and 3 conditions that can make this fail, plus a safety warning about 1 plant documented as fatal to cats within hours by the ASPCA. Just 7 plants, no traps, and no poison. No tools beyond basic gardening supplies, allowing anyone to set this up over a single weekend. The first 4 plants act fast, each targeting a different receptor in the rat's nose. They share a broad mechanism through volatile organic compounds that overwhelm the olfactory system, but deploy entirely different chemical effects. Plant 1 is peppermint menthopiperita. Its active compound menthol activates the TRPM8 cold sensing channel on the rat's trigeminal nerve, simulating extreme cold across all senoceptors. Research published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science in 2012 showed that high menthol concentrations trigger avoidance behavior in rodents. Plant 1 should be spaced 1 every 12 to 18 inches, always in containers, because peppermint roots are invasive in open soil. Best locations include foundation strips, crawl space fence, and entry doors in USDA Zone 3. However, peppermint's effect from a single compound lasts only about 7 days. Plant 2 is lavender, lavandula, angustifolia, containing linalool. Linalool activates olfactory receptors that modulate GABA signaling in the nervous system, producing an avoidance response. A 2018 study in Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience confirmed this in mice, but only when inhaled. Lavender should be planted 1 every 18 to 24 inches in a continuous row, in full sun for at least 6 hours a day, ideally along a south-facing fence or walkway in USDA Zone 5. Note that lavender essential oil applied directly to fur is toxic per ASPCA animal poison control, but planted outdoors at perimeter distance in ambient air is generally low risk. A gardener in the Pacific Northwest reported that planting lavender along her south fence kept rat trails away from raised beds for 2 full seasons. Plant 3 is marigold, Taget's species. Its airborne limonene masks food odors, and while evidence for rat deterrence is limited, it protects vegetable beds from insects and nematodes via alpha-terthional root exudate. Place 1 plant per foot along the vegetable bed border in full sun, annuals suitable for Zone 2 and above. Even if rats are unaffected, marigolds perform real work underground. 1 critical condition can render all these plants ineffective, which will be addressed later. Plant 4 is wormwood, Artemisia absinthium. Its active compounds, Thujon blocks GABA A receptors, causing neuroexcitation and avoidance, while absinthin activates bitter taste receptors, triggering refusal to eat. A 2020 toxicity study in the Journal of Toxicology Science found rats refused water at 5% wormwood concentration. Plant 1 every 24 to 36 inches on the outermost property boundary or around compost bins, keeping 3 feet from vegetables, since wormwood is allelopathic and can suppress neighboring plant growth. One grower noted that using wormwood as a compost border caused rats to stop approaching the bin entirely. Thuja is neurotoxic to dogs and cats if they chew the leaves. This plant is meant for the perimeter, not raised beds. Before moving to plant 5, the most important point is this. If you have a bird feeder, a dog food bowl outside, or unsealed trash near your yard, none of these 7 plants will work. The plants suppress scent, but food drive overrides scent every time. Remove any accessible food first, then plant the perimeter. The full explanation of the 3 conditions that override everything comes in the next part. Plant 5 is garlic, Allium sativum. Its active compound, diallyl disulfide, works differently. This is not just an unpleasant smell. Diallyl disulfide activates TRPA1 and TRPV1 nociceptive channels, producing pain-equivalent signals in the nose rather than mere discomfort. A study published in Current Biology in 2005 found that raw garlic activates these channels in rats and mice, but baked garlic does not. The compound must remain intact to work. Place 4 to 6 cloves per linear foot interplanted in tomato and pepper rows, avoiding the bean family because garlic stunts legumes, USDA Zone 4. A 50-cent head of garlic can perform the same work as a $50 bucket of pellets. Most critical safety note, garlic is seriously toxic to cats through thiosulfate-induced hemolytic anemia and accumulates over time in dogs. The ASPCA Animal Poison Control classifies all allium as high risk. Keep it away from pet zones. Plant 6 is rosemary, Salvia rosmarinus. Its compound, 1,8-cineol, also called eucalyptol, causes olfactory fatigue at sufficient concentration, overwhelming the olfactory epithelium and disrupting the rat's ability to detect food or threats. Research in the Journal of Pest Science found that rosemary-based treatments reduced rodent presence by more than 60% for up to 7 days. Plant 1 shrub every 24 to 36 inches along a south or west-facing foundation wall, ideally against brick or masonry that retains heat, USDA Zone 7. In colder zones, grow it in a container and bring it indoors over winter. Rosemary is safe for dogs and cats outdoors. A homeowner with a south-facing brick foundation replaced 2 snap traps with a rosemary hedge and saw 0 trap triggers for 4 months. Plant 7 is elderberry sambucus species. Its compound, sambunagrin, is a cyanogenic glycoside that releases hydrogen cyanide when plant tissue is damaged, inhibiting cytochrome C oxidase, an enzyme central to cellular respiration. Peer-reviewed rodent-specific repellency data does not currently exist. Evidence is anecdotal, with gardeners noting it works best as an outermost boundary marker rather than an active frontline deterrent. Plant 1 large shrub every 4 to 6 feet in moist soil, USDA Zone 3. Medium risk exists for pets if they chew young stems or leaves. With all 7 plants in place, the layout works like this. Foundation strip with peppermint in containers and lavender rose, vegetable border edged with marigold and garlic interplanted in the rows, south wall rosemary hedge, outer boundary with wormwood at 3 feet minimum from the garden, far corners and fence line marked with elderberry. This creates a complete perimeter. You do not trap rats. You make your property smell like a place they refuse to walk through. Peppermint freezes the receptors, garlic burns them, rosemary blinds them, wormwood poisons the signal, and elderberry marks the outer wall. 7 weapons, 7 different targets. Now you know all 7 plants and exactly where to place each. Most plant list videos do not include the 3 conditions that can override them. If you have a cat, the next 60 seconds may be the most important. Some of you may have all 7 plants and still see rats. The first condition is what was flagged earlier: bird feeders, outdoor pet food bowls, or unsealed trash. A rat's biological survival drive will override scent discomfort every time. One gardener explained it best. The urge to reach food almost always beats the discomfort of a localized smell. Remove any food source before planting anything. The second condition is single compound planting. A study from Konkang University, published in CMU Journal of Natural Sciences in 2020, found that menthol alone lost all effectiveness by day 7 due to habituation. A multi-compound blend maintained effectiveness. By day 7, you need at least 3 plants from different mechanism groups. The third condition is harborage within a foot of your foundation. Wood piles against walls, thick leaf litter, and dense shrubs under 12 inches must be removed. Plants reduce pressure, but do not replace ceiling entry points or eliminate what draws rats in. Regarding cats and dogs, cats process essential oils 8 to 10 times slower than dogs because they lack a specific liver enzyme. ASPCA Animal Poison Control documents this. Concentrated lavender or peppermint oil applied to cat fur can cause toxicity, but planted outdoors at perimeter distance and ambient air is generally low risk. Wormwood is different. Thuja is neurotoxic to both cats and dogs if chewed. Garlic poses a hard-line risk for cats, causing hemolytic anemia from thiosulfate exposure even in small amounts. The ASPCA classifies all allium as serious. Rosemary and marigold are safe outdoors for both, peppermint and lavender planted. Outdoors are low risk, but wormwood and garlic should be kept away from pet zones. For other rodents, house mice follow the same mechanism, but habituation to single compounds occurs even faster than in rats. A multi-plant blend is the solution. The same principle applies to pack rats in Arizona and the desert Southwest. This perimeter will not work for pack rats, as they evolved duplicated CYP2B enzyme genes, specifically to break down and consume terpene-based plants. Research published in PNAS in 2022 confirmed that pack rats eat these plants as food. 4vols, peer-reviewed data for specific species, does not yet exist. Pennyroyal is deliberately left out despite viewer questions. The SPCA has case files showing that pouligone makes up 75 to 85% of pennyroyal essential oil and causes acute liver failure through a specific biological pathway. ASPCA Animal Poison Control documented dogs dying within 30 hours of topical pennyroyal oil application used to treat fleas. This plant should not be used near pets or children. Videos listing pennyroyal without toxicity. Data are omitting critical information. The honest summary: a dense, multi-species perimeter meaningfully reduces rat pressure. It is one layer of a system, not a standalone fix. Seal entry points, remove food sources, then plant the perimeter in that order. Which of the 7 plants gets stronger over time? none on its own. Peppermint alone is gone by day 7, but when you combine 3 or more plants from different receptor groups, menthol on TRPM8, garlic on TRPA1, rosemary on olfactory fatigue, the combination prevents habituation. Rats cannot adapt to all of them at once. This compound protection often maintains effectiveness season after season. Plant the perimeter once, and the plants do the patrol every night. 7 plants, 7 receptor targets, exact spacing per foot, exact spots in your yard. The chemistry behind each, the 3 conditions that override everything, and the full pet safety protocol by species are all included. Plant the perimeter and let the plants patrol every night. One question for the comments. Are you team peppermint or team garlic for your first row? For the rat proofing step most gardeners skip, the first link in the description provides exactly that. Happy gardening. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.